Everyone has a purpose. There's something you are meant to do. By the way, what you're meant to do lies directly behind and is connected to what you love to do. You know, when I was at school, I wanted to be an artist, but my parents didn't like that for me. And I decided I'd be a teacher, and I was very excited about that, but it wasn't for me. And then I decided I'd be a child psychologist, and that also wasn't for me because it was just too hard. When you're a therapist working with children, you tend to have 3 patients, mother, father, child, often divorced on a different page. And it's interesting working with one, working with 3 was hard. And then when I became a therapist, I saw time and time again people who would be depressed. And interesting, one of the major factors of depression, which is not, by the way, a chemical imbalance in your brain, that's not even a real thing at all. One of the major causes of depression is failing to follow your heart's desire. And I've seen people who say, no, all my life I wanted to be a doctor or a teacher or a lawyer or a golf instructor or attendant. I wanted to be in the theatre, but, my parents kind of steered me into, this is a good job for you. And now I'm depressed because my life is passing me by and I haven't followed my heart's desire. I've seen many people who are depressed because they have a good job. I'm a lawyer. It's a good job, but I don't like it. I'm not fulfilled. I work with many, many police officers, great people who say, I went into the police to make a difference. And for all kinds of reasons, it's nobody's fault. I lock up drunks. I lock up people who are mentally ill. It's not what I wanted. And it's very easy to get stuck in a career that isn't what you wanted, because often when you're 18 and you start careers advice or 16, you don't know what you want. You think, I want to do that. That's great for me. My family did it. And then you get into the career and you suddenly get stuck. You feel lost. You feel unfulfilled. You feel unsure about your future. The unfulfilled is a big thing because everyone has a purpose. There's something you are meant to do. By the way, what you're meant to do lies directly behind and is connected to what you love to do. But humans have a fear of change. We're wired to resist change. Anyone with a small child will know when they get to 2, I don't like that, it's got lumps in it. I don't like that yogurt, it's not pink. And nature is very clever. It's wired us to be scared of change because the same old made us safe. We used to only live until we were about 50, and it was all about being safe, just getting through the day. But now we live until we're 102, and we suddenly realize, well, what's the point? It's like that great song I used to love, Get Up, Go to Work, Get a Job, Pay the Bills, Bittersweet Symphony of Life by the Bird, that's the one. And it was just talking about this futileness of what is life about? If I get up, go to work, come home, pay the bills, and you may know that many people have more heart attacks on a Monday than any other day of the week. Many people say, I'm really depressed on a Sunday night because I'm going to a job that doesn't make my heart sing. So what do you do if you feel depressed and your job doesn't make your heart sing? Well, you've got to find something that you love. And I, started off thinking I'd be an artist, thinking I'd be a teacher, thinking I'd be a child psychologist. And I almost fell into being an RTT therapist, and I love this job. And you know why I love it? It ticks all the boxes. It makes my heart sing. I do what I love. I love what I do. I would do this job for nothing, and I often do because I love it so much. Every day I get a massive sense of purpose. You see, humans have these needs. I'm going to tell you what they are. We need significance, we need connection, we need diversity, we also need certainty, and we need to feel we're making a difference. The number one reason people stay in a job is because they say, I feel like I'm contributing. I think I'm making a difference to society. There are very few jobs that tick all those boxes. And I've worked with many people who were absolutely stuck. One of my favorite stories is that this girl wrote to me and said, I've been a cleaner. I was this mum with kids, and I couldn't find any job that allowed me to take my kids to school, pick them up from school. I couldn't earn enough money. I didn't want to work in an office or a factory or call center, so I became a cleaner. It didn't make my heart sing. Then I found your course, and I took it, and I began to be a therapist, and I never knew that I could do that. And yet I did do it. And she wrote to me and told me, it's amazing. My first ever client gave me a free all expenses trip to Florida. And my first client was someone whose house I was cleaning. She told me all her troubles. A lot of hairdressers say that too. My clients tell me all their woes. And I was telling this story at the RTT convention. We have a convention every year. People come from all over the world to learn new skills, to meet each other. I was telling the story, and she said, and it's me, I'm here in the room. And she came up on stage and shared the story. And then we have another lovely girl called Sally in Australia who told me the same story. She turned up at my class, and she didn't tell me at the time, probably just as well, that she put the whole thing on her credit card, brought her children to London, trained with me, went back to Australia, and her life has just taken off. She's blissfully happy. But we also have a lovely doctor called Marisa who came to do my live training and said, as a doctor, I want to make a difference. I want to help people. And it's no one's fault that I have 5 minutes with people and I prescribe medication, and that's not what I signed up for. And she amazingly left our course, went back to Scotland, shut down her entire practice, reopened as a sole RTT therapist. She loves it. So we have a lot of people who have come to me and said, I really want to do something different, but I'm scared of change. Very normal to be scared of change. I'm scared of the cost. I'm scared of failing. I don't like the job I'm in, but I got kind of certainty. Here's that need again, certainty. But what about if I leave and I don't like my next job and I lose that next job? I can't succeed at that job. So we have a fear of change. We have a fear of something different. We have a fear of the investment we're going to make, the time it's going to take to train, what if we're no good at it? And that's very, very normal. When you can see the ending of something, you can deal with it. When something really hurts you, it's got to be permanent and personal and all pervasive, meaning it goes on all the time. So, I have a nephew at the moment who doesn't really like his college course at all, but he knows it's ending in July. In July, it's ending. You can go back home. And you can cope with something when the ending is in sight. You can't cope with something when you don't know when it ends. That's why, interestingly, prisoners on remand do worse than those with a sentence because they can't see the ending. Think about how your life is going to be in a few short months rather than how it is now. And if you can see where you're going, not where you are, you'll be amazing. If you'd have told me 30 years ago what my life would have looked like, I wouldn't have believed that I would have had a home in LA, a home in Notting Hill, an amazing life, a beautiful relationship, a daughter. I was told I could never have children, but I didn't know. I had no idea that my life would be the life I have now. I still wake up and pinch myself. I wake up every day and I say the same thing. I love my life, and I love my life. I'll never do anything else. I'm going to be doing this when I'm 95. I will never retire because I love it. And you can love it too, and it will love you right back.
Check out my next video here. The way you feel about anything at any time is down to two things: the pictures you make in your head and the words you say to yourself. And number one habit to stop you being successful is waiting for perfection.